When I was a child, I was spoiled, wanting for nothing, except for my father's love. He had lost mother to witchcraft, so his whole being was poured into wiping it out of existence. He let the servants and maids and knights raise me. It's probably how I learned to fight so well, watching the knights practice day in and day out. One day, however, while in the marketplace searching for groceries with the cook, I ran across a curious scene. A shopkeeper was holding a young girl no older than myself, accusing her of theft. Well, she had stolen food, it was true, but she and her mother were starving. She did what she had to. So I had the cook pay for the stolen food, and offered the young girl employment as my personal maidservant, given my previous one had left only days ago. It took her a while to get the hang of how it all worked. She arrived late her first day, dropped my breakfast all over me, and heated the bath far too hot. Naturally, the entire castle treated her like a laughingstock, and expected her to get fired. But I made sure the staff was helpful rather than cruel. And as days turned to weeks, turned to months, she was one of the best maidservants I'd ever had. Then the incident happened. One day after I'd gotten Rowena wet by pulling her into my bath with me, we both got a change of clothes and decided to go for a walk in the woods with George accompanying us. But then the bandits attacked. They knocked George out and tried to defile and violate us both. Rowena saved us. She was a witch. I was stunned at first. It had never crossed my mind that Rowena was a witch. It made me wonder if that's how she had gotten so much better so fast. But I didn't have time to question that. George was going to turn her into my father. So I did what any sane woman would do in that situation. I knocked him out and I ran away with her. We were chased all over by my father's knights for 5 years, barely avoiding them. If not for Rowena's powers to see the future, I'm sure we would have been caught. We eventually made our way to Wales, where we came across a charming hamlet, if not for the fact it was pouring down with rain. Me and Rowena sought shelter from the rain and came across a lovely young woman who fed, showered, and clothed us. Rowena had another dream, but it was of a man she'd never met being murdered. She insisted on rescuing him, but, knowing how dangerous it was for us, Helga offered to go instead. We met up with her a few days after she saved him from a witch hunter, and Rowena knew what was next. The 5th and final member of our party needed to be found. Luckily, Rowena had just the tool to find him. Following her visions, we finally found him, and Salazar was able to rescue him from a group of witch hunters. We then retreated and found our way to an abandoned, decrepit castle. According to the others, they could sense ancient, powerful magic. And so, after Rowena received a vision telling them what they needed to do, they rebuilt the castle as a safe haven for witches and wizards, and a school to teach the next generation. Eventually, I realized there was no benefit to my staying, so I gifted Rowena my diadem that my mother gave me before her death, and I left. I soon met a young man, a Prince Henry II. We fell in love, and I married him, and soon after he became king, and I his queen. We made the hunting of witches and wizards illegal in our territory, to the dismay of the church, but Henry made sure they realized they only operate thanks to his good graces. He was the king. I bore him 10 children, 2 of whom had magic. I was so proud when they received their Hogwarts letter. Even prouder when my daughter was sorted into Ravenclaw House. The school had evolved so much since my departure, and it was then that I knew I'd made the right decision.